Good evening. Welcome to the Ramapo Town Hall. This is our meeting of October 9th, 2013. At this time, I'd like to ask our Town Clerk, Christian Sampson, to call the roll.
Councilman Deputy Supervisor Withers. Councilman Ullman.
Here.
Councilman Friedman. Councilwoman Charles.
Here.
Supervisor St. Lawrence.
Here, I'd like to ask Deputy Supervisor Withers to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is acceptance of the minutes for a special meeting on September 24th, 2013, moved by
Charles.
Councilwoman Charles, second by Councilman Ullman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is acceptance of the minutes for a meeting on October 4th, 2013.
Charles.
Moved by Councilwoman Charles, seconded by Councilman Ullman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries unanimously. Item number 2 on the agenda is Town Attorney. Our Town Attorney, Michael Klein.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. The first 3 resolutions all involve approval of agreements. The first of these is for the use of the Spook Rock parking lot by the Jehovah's Witnesses. This will be the Spook Rock pool parking lot, and although their original request was to use it for October, November, and December, they've now indicated that they wish to use it during the months of November and December. In my discussions with them, I indicated that we were seeking a fee for the use of this for 3 days a week of about 200 cars a day of $1,000 a month. They asked if that number was firm or what the discretion of the town board would be, and I told them I'd get back with them tomorrow. So it's up to the town board what they'd like.
Well, since they're only going to be using it 3 days a week, I think $750 a month would be fine?
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Moved by?
Charles.
Moved by,
Should we make it more open-ended that the attorney's office can negotiate if they have a problem with their board? Or do you want to leave it at 750?
I think,
This is for the year, right?
just for 2 months.
2 months.
Seven-
Oh, 2 months,
$750
okay.
a month for 2 months. Each,
Let's-
$750 each month.
Let's leave it.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the
All
2
right.
months.
Moved by Councilwoman Charles, second by Councilman Ullman, as amended at $750. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries unanimously.
The next resolution approves the services of Robert G. Torgensen, Landscape Architecture Environmental Services, for assistance in wetlands mitigation projects. This would be for the balance of this year and will go into 2014.
And the cost on this is about $34,500? Not to exceed.
Not to exceed.
Okay, very good. And this is working with the Army Corps and providing some new wetlands for the town of Ramapo. It's fantastic. Moved by Councilman Friedman, second by Councilman Ullman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries unanimously.
The next resolution approves a contract with the Center for Governmental Research, Inc., to assist the town in conducting a consolidation study of fire districts within the town. This would include the Park Crest Fire Protection District, the Spring Valley Fire District, and the West Spring Valley Fire Protection District.
Moved by Councilman Friedman, seconded by Councilman Ullman. I'd recognize Councilman Friedman on this matter, since
Thank you.
he's been spearheading this.
Thank you.
Councilman Friedman.
This is a resolution to approve a contract with CGR, which is a consulting firm that specializes in government consolidation and efficiency studies. For 3 years now, we have been working to consolidate several fire districts, which are extra layers of government that are unnecessarily taxing residents in Ramapo and in the Spring Valley area. We received a $50,000 grant from Governor Cuomo's office, who wrote the government consolidation law, to further examine consolidation and efficiencies with our fire districts to lower taxes for residents. This is a proposal to approve the study, which will be paid for entirely by those state funds. So we're not using any town funds to pay for a project that's going to help save taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run. And I want to applaud, again, the supervisor and the town board for their support of this project since its inception. We're going to move forward, continue this process. It's a little bit of a long process, but it's an important one, so that we can have long-term sustainability on every level of government. Thank you.
I want to thank you, Councilman Friedman, for acquiring this grant and getting this from the government. I think this was actually the first grant that was provided for consolidation, and it's fantastic. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Okay, we have it moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
We have one matter for settlement of a tax certiorari litigation. This involves the Colonial Apartments of Spring Valley on Main Street in Spring Valley. It covers tax years 2009 through 2014 and results in a town tax refund of $2,191.
Charles.
Moved by Councilwoman Charles, seconded by Councilman Friedman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
The next resolution authorizes the town to apply for a grant through the Justice Court Assistance Program in the amount of $30,000.
Moved by Deputy Supervisor Withers,
Charles.
second by Councilwoman Charles. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
Two different entities, one being the Village of Spring Valley and the other Greener Pasture Assembly, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, have indicated that they are seeking New York State legislative approval for a retroactive tax exemption. They've asked, as a condition of the legislature approving their applications, that the town would approve of the exemption, assuming the legislature authorizes it. So this resolution makes that representation.
Charles.
Moved by Councilwoman Charles, seconded by Councilman Ullman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
We've received a request by a company called Haverfield International, Inc., which is a subcontractor of another company which has contracted with Orange and Rockland to do some improvements on the transmission facilities off Torn Valley Road. To do the work, they use a helicopter crew, and they've asked permission to use land that the town owns near the landfill for its landing location and a storage area for the few weeks that the work will be going on. The resolution authorizes an agreement with this company to use our property, and they'll be paying us a fee of $250 a day, in addition to providing necessary insurance and entering into a contract subject to the approval of my office.
Moved by Councilman Withers, seconded by
Friedman.
Councilman Friedman. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carries unanimously.
And finally, the last item on the agenda under the town attorney's portion is scheduling a public hearing. This would be for November 25th, 2013 at 8 p.m. This is on the petition to have a change in our zoning code to permit JSF Associates to establish a country inn and as a related use to a vineyard at the former Tornbrook Farm.
Moved by Deputy Supervisor Withers,
Charles.
seconded by Councilwoman Charles. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. Just before we go to the Deputy Director of Finance, Nat Oberman, I just want to let people know what that helicopter operation really means. I didn't know if you mentioned they're going to be working on the high-tension lines all through the mountains, and so they'll be doing it by helicopter. So people will see these helicopters working on this and will probably wonder what it's all about. And so they're now going to be paying $250 a day in order to land. They'll be landing in the Torn Valley, not far from the St. Lawrence Center, right by the sign for the Solid Waste Management Authority, where Michael Sadowski, our Deputy Director of DPW, has cleared it, and it's the best location. So they'll be staging there, and they'll be working out of there to work on the high-tension lines. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Deputy Director of Finance, Nat Overman.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. 3A, amendment of our 2013 budget is a donation of the American Recycling from DARE.
Charles.
Moved by Councilwoman Charles, seconded by Deputy Supervisor Withers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is purchasing. I'll do that. Mona Montel is not here this evening. Item number 1 is for reclamation of various roads. Moved by
Charles.
Councilwoman Charles, seconded by Deputy Supervisor Withers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. The next is the Herschel Terrace Hilda Lane Drainage Project, moved by Councilman Ullman, seconded by
Friedman.
Councilman Friedman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. Item number 5, IT Department's acceptance of the proposal for Voice and Internet Services LightPath. This is for part of our telephone service, and it will be a savings of $2,000 per month to the town, or $24,000 for the year. Moved by Deputy Supervisor Withers, seconded by
Charles?
Councilwoman Charles. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. The next is an authorization for a street light on Francis Place in Muncie. Moved by Councilman Ullman, seconded by Deputy Supervisor Withers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. The next item on the agenda is the reappointment of the Board of Assessment Review member, George Barron, from Tallman, New York. Moved by Deputy Supervisor Withers, seconded by
Charles?
Councilwoman Charles. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. Fred Fabry is leaving the Golf Committee, and so we're accepting his resignation on the Golf Committee. Moved by Deputy Supervisor Withers, seconded by Councilwoman Charles. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. Under new business, we have a property maintenance. This is a piece of property where we are going to go in and maintain it, clean it up, and then we will put the charges that we incur onto the tax bill. The grass is up over 10 inches, and the property needs to be cleaned up, so we'll clean it up, and we'll put it onto their tax bill. Moved by Deputy Supervisor Withers,
Charles.
seconded by Councilwoman Charles. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Carries unanimously. Any other new business, Mike?
No, that's it.
This time, anybody in the public, we'll open up public participation. Anybody in the public would like to speak, come right up.
James Brown. I'm actually here for two purposes.
I'm sorry, sir. You said your name
James
is
Brown, B-R-O-N.
Braun?
B-R-O,
And you're-
Bronx without an X or Brown without a W. Take your pick.
R-O-W-A.
It didn't work as well in Buffalo.
And your address, Mr. Braun?
20 Herrick.
Thank you.
Recently, Woodside and Westside were repaved, which for those of us who walk a lot, et cetera, it was very nice. However, there is a problem. There's an inconsistency in the quality of material. So in some places, you have a real small particles that take a real good seal. Other places, and some of these are fairly extensive, you have large pieces of blacktop that not only don't take a good seal, but will permit water leakage and therefore freezing and potholes. Okay? And this was not, this is not any nefarious plan for people to have extra work. This is just probably because of the bidding process.
I wish, our superintendent of highways is not here, not in town today, but I don't mean to interrupt you, but sometimes when they do the first course, they just put down the wear course, especially before the winter, and then they let it settle, and then they put down the final course. So I will find out if that's a final course. It may not be the final.
It may not be. If it
Okay,
is,
I will
I have a
check.
suggestion for you, all right? Somebody should look at how much better quality blacktop would cost versus the long-term repair costs for the potholes, okay? Most of the bids are always for the lowest bidder. Understandably, it's the public money.
Well,
But if the long-term consequences are better the other way, it's politically saleable and fiscally responsible.
Okay, just so you know, we use Tilcon. They give us a very high-quality product, so I bet it's the wear course there, so that's why you're seeing that.
Could be, but it's been there
And
for
then
a
they
while.
wait and let it settle a little bit, so when they put the final course on, it fills in those voids.
Could be.
The plants usually close down around November 15th, and then there's less quality that can be gotten out of New Jersey. We never use those products. We always go for the higher quality. But I will find out for you and get in touch with you.
I would appreciate it.
On that.
Now,
It was
my-
an area that desperately needed to be paved.
Oh, it
and-
did. Believe me,
As you
I'm
know.
in full agreement with the
Yeah.
repaving. I have no problem with that.
And I'm sure that's the wear course, and then there'll be a final in the spring, there'll be a tighter. And when they put on that top coat, it is that much tighter, and
Okay, I hope
you'll
so.
notice that.
My main reason for coming was actually to talk to Councilwoman Charles, which is not necessarily public business.
Okay? You can speak to her right after the meeting, it will be
If
over
it's
shortly.
not a long meeting, I would
No,
appreciate it.
we've concluded the meeting portion, so it'll just be a few minutes, and
Okay.
She'll be glad to, I'm sure if she's not busy, to speak with you, right?
Not at all.
She'll be right,
What streets are you referring to?
Woodside
Woodside and
and
West
West
Side.
Side.
Thank you.
Yeah, they finally
Okay.
have a working street light on Woodside, which they didn't for a while, you know, now that it's working, it's not a big deal.
Great.
I
Okay.
would appreciate knowing if somebody can get in touch with me.
Absolutely will.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else in the public like to speak? Motion to close public participation by Councilman Charles, seconded by Deputy Supervisor Withers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries unanimously. Any council member comments?
Nope.
Okay, a motion to adjourn? Moved by Deputy Supervisor Withers, seconded by Councilman Ullman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carries unanimously. We're adjourned.